Hey, what's up? This is Eric. And at the risk of showing off how kind of jacked up my garage is right now, I kind of want to go through what trees look like getting a head start in the garage. The trees that are out here it wasn't like intentional. I wasn't trying to give them a head start. This is all stuff that got affected by the voles out in my greenhouse. It just so happens I also work out here, and so I've got a little space here that runs. I just turned it on this morning, so it's not quite warm in here, but yet anyway, I'm going to be working on my pottery wheel a little bit later. But so these couple of trees, I wanted to start some seeds down here, and I've got a couple of little things starting to pop up in that planter, but I need to water it. But I've got a little grow light, set up. Just, it's always on. I don't turn it off. It's just an LED grow light. You get it on Amazon. But the trees that are here by this grow light, you can see how nice and lush and green these are, right? Nice green leaves. These are still going to have to transition to the sun really, really gradually. Luckily for us here in the Northwest, in the springtime, we get a lot of cloud cover, so we can still burn leaves, don't get me wrong. Trees grown inside like this have real thin leaves, but they'll have to get acclimated, gradually. You can see how long the leaf stem is here. It's a little leggy because of lack of light, and it's trying so hard to get up here under this light here that it's just, it's trying to do everything it can to survive and wake up. It does have a little bit of Brava. Don't know if it's going to hold or not. Probably not. It'll probably drop. But come over here. These trees here, I just up potted these. These were rooted cuttings from over where the actual grow lights are. But this one here, this one doesn't get any light. You can see how much lighter the new growth is. And back here a ways, I'm gonna move my tote box of coffee cups. Back here a ways, you can see these trees back here getting no light whatsoever, and you can see how light green that is. It has absolutely nothing to do with fertilizer. My potting mix has fertilizer in it. This has everything to do with lack of light, and you can see how leggy those are growing, how light green this tree is. And this is over here by the garage door where it's colder, but it doesn't seem to matter. A couple of Brava, those are going to drop. But, it's not rocket science. If you've got real heavy green, dark green growth, generally speaking, they're getting decent heat and decent light. And that's what you want to go for. So ideally, these would all be out in the greenhouse. They wouldn't even be up here. But, like I said, I had an issue with critters. So they're in here with my avocados, which don't look very good right now, but, they're coming back a little bit. And we'll get stuff outside. It's still too cold at night to get stuff transitioned outside. I probably won't do it for another few weeks. The date always gets pushed back. You just have to look at your overnight temperatures. You don't want anything below about high 30s at the lowest. For me is where I feel comfortable putting stuff outside like this. Otherwise, you're risking putting stuff out to get frosted, and they'll get hurt, and it'll set you back. Really, what's important here is if you're going to do something like this where you put stuff in the garage, even an unheated garage. I've only run the heater out here this year, and I've kept trees in here in the past. But if you're going to put stuff in the garage and protect it, that's fine. When they start to leaf out, and they will, about this time of year, they will start to break bud in the garage, even if it's not heated. And my garage is not attached. There's vents that are open up in the ceiling. The only window in here is over there. That's the only window in here. I don't keep the shop lights on. The only lights that have been on to this point are the lights over there for where I'm rooting cuttings. Usually I have rooted cuttings in the house, and I'm not doing that anymore. So anyway, the big difference this year is the fact that I have a little bit of a heater running when I'm out here working. And that's causing these trees to wake up a lot sooner. So these are far more ready to go than what the stuff is out in my greenhouse. The stuff in my greenhouse is just now starting to break bud. So, for anybody to say that growing trees in a garage, even an unheated one, doesn't give a head start, I think they're misleading either themselves or other people. But it is a head start, and it can be an effective one here in the Northwest. But what I was going to say was, if you're going to do that, just make sure you spend a little bit of money and get some decent grow lights for when they start to wake up, before you start to transition them outside. That'll help. It's not going to be a cure-all. You still have to keep them in the shade for a week or two before they hit full sun. But it's an effective way to overwinter your trees if you don't have very many. I've got too many to do this with. Like I said, I didn't even want to put these in here, but things happen. So anyway, all right, that's it for now. Take care. See you on the next round, and I'm gonna get to work over here. I have this much of my kiln left to fill, so I've got half a dozen coffee cups, maybe 7 or 8 coffee cups I need to trim and put handles on, and then I can get this thing fired. So that's what I've been doing on spring break. All right, take care.